Oh, there we go. I think I got it. But I don't know if anybody is on yet. Alrighty. I see one person's watching, but is that just you? Yeah. There we go. So yeah, this isn't going to get real good rewatch with a minute and 15 seconds of me sitting here staring at my computer, but hopefully now we are. What's that? Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Alrighty. So it looks like maybe we've got two people watching now. Hey, if you're out there, announce yourself so I know who you are. I know it's kind of a funky time to go live. For those of us at Central Standard Time, it's dinner time. For those on the West Coast, it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. For those in the East Coast, it's 7, which is still dinner time for a lot of people. So maybe this was just a bad time to go live. I also might not have set this up very well, so I don't know. Well, this is going to have rewatch ability anyhow, so unless I go in and just cancel it all together. So I guess I can start talking about why I did this live in the first place. And there's a lot of stuff that's kind of up in the air for us. And one of them is this YouTube channel, actually. I was ready to just say, you know what, this just isn't working out. I think that I don't really have a future in YouTube, and maybe it's just time to focus on a different direction. I've gotten a little bit of feedback that people do enjoy hearing some of my stuff. The big thing was that one of my friends said, if you don't love sharing your farm with the world, then don't do it anymore. And, you know, hi, Simply Jan, how are you? I'm glad somebody showed up. So I am not sure why the chats are not showing up on their own. It's like asking me to, oh, not much. Not much. Yeah, it's like asking me to actually show every single solitary thing. Anyhow, so Jan, how are you? I'm glad you were able to stop by. I'm thinking this might not have been the best time to do a live. It's dinner time for a lot of folks. Hey, how you doing? Let me see, Jan. How do I make it so that I can just see your stuff all the time? No, we don't want to do that. Okay, it's doing something a little funky for me right now. Like every single solitary comment that pops up, it's asking me to approve the comment. That's not going to be really effective, but I'll try and approve the comments as quickly as I can, and obviously that means I get to read them as well. So we got 6 does and buck rabbits, and Kevin built my raised beds. That's awesome, Jan. I'm really happy that you got your beds up. What made y'all get into rabbits? Have you had rabbits before? We have not been as busy as we were, Jan. I do have live chats on. I do have live chats on, and it's still asking me to approve. I only have to approve you once, apparently. Maybe not. So, Jess, can you see the chats that are popping up? You can see everybody's chats? Okay. Okay, good deal. So I guess it's just being funky on my end, but Jessica can see them on her phone. So, Jan, we actually haven't been as busy as we were previously. And I think some of it in our household has been, I don't know what we want to call it. It's not actual depression. I guess we'll call it corona depression. It looks like I need a mod. Oh, I see. Okay, Jan. Yeah, no, that's great that you're able to take his bunnies off his hands, and hopefully they'll be good producers for you, good breeders for you. So anyhow, y'all, part of why I originally jumped on here to do this particular live is because, in all honesty, you know, I've always been transparent with y'all. I was originally going to announce tonight that that YouTube was going to be a thing of the past for us, believe it or not. Now I'm not so sure. Now I'm kind of second guessing it and thinking about it more. I think we probably definitely need to take a little break. But it's just gotten to where the YouTube thing is more of a frustration than it is. It's definitely not doing anything for our business or our brand. It's not building us in any way, shape, or form. We've made a few friends. It's nice to have friends. But, you know, I mean, I can make friends by just following y'all's channels too. So, but like I said, I mean, you know, we're not selling T-shirts. We're not selling mugs. We're not selling stickers. We've been pretty much stuck at like 300 and something subs ever since this whole coronavirus thing kicked off, which I know is a big YouTube thing for everyone. No, just take a break. You did it and it helped. And, you know, that may be what I'll do, Jan. We'll see. But I look back through the comments on all my videos, and there's just nothing in the comments that are really reflecting that anything that I'm doing is all that effective. And, you know, I mean, anybody who does YouTube knows that doing YouTube takes twice as long to get a project done as if you just did the project. So where's the payoff? You know what I mean? If it's going to take me twice as long to build a raised bed because I'm filming it, and then I have to edit it, and then I have to, you know, do whatever else to it. So if it's taking me twice as long to get a project done, there has to be some sort of a payoff. And so far, that payoff just really hasn't been there. And everybody says, you know, it just takes time to build your channel. I know. And it's not like I've put a month or two in. I've been at this for a year now, and it's been a year of a lot of really hard work. It's been a year of basically having a third full-time job. And like I said, I'm not really seeing the rewards that go with it. But then, as I started saying before everybody started jumping on, I had a friend of mine say, if you no longer love sharing your farm with the world, then find something else to do. And that kind of threw me into a little bit of a quandary, because sharing my farm with the world is all I want to do. It's just that this whole like YouTube and social media thing has just become really frustrating. You know, it's like I said, you got to spend twice as long doing a project because you're filming it, and then you have to edit it, and then you have to get onto Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook, and you have to blow it all up, and you have to advertise it, and you have to do all this other stuff with it, and then you get 45 views and some comments that say, hey, nice video. Nothing that says like, you know, oh, that's super awesome. I never knew that beds could be built like that. I wish that I could build beds like that. Can you give me some detailed sketches, because I've learned so much from you? You know, so entertainment value has its value as well, obviously. So if people find me entertaining, that's nice. It's just, like I said, it seems like the reward versus effort hasn't been balancing out real well. And trying to figure out how to make that all work with us, along with something. Yep. Coming up with content is a drag. And that's the whole thing, is like, I'm not on here to whine and cry, because I know that I'm not going through anything that every other YouTuber isn't going through. And this is honestly just a really, really tough time to be a content creator in general. Everybody's views are down. Well, not everybody. The big people are still getting all their views. But for all of us small guys, the views are down, and in all honesty, I'm not watching as much YouTube as I was, and it makes no sense because I'm working from home, so I could have YouTube running in the background like all day long, but I'm not watching as much YouTube. It's a tough time, and like I started to mention, Corona oppression. Um, Part of the other thing that has me not wanting to just, because like I said, I came on here tonight to say, hey y'all, I'm done. It was a nice run. Have a good life. I'll still be watching your channels. Now I'm leaning more towards taking a bit of a break, because my wife and I sat down the other night and we discussed it, and we didn't even really realize it, but all of a sudden we were like, hey, we're not getting out of bed until 9 o'clock, and that's not us. And then even when we get out of bed, we get moving real slow, and maybe we finally have breakfast by 10:30, and then I get on and I do my off-farm income work from home. And um, I mean, Jessica gets up and gets started a lot quicker than I do, but then that means that she has to work later into the day to put in her hours because we got the later start than we typically would. And we're not getting a whole lot done on the farm. It's like we're getting the stuff that has to get done. But I mean, I've still got some sunchokes sitting on the counter out here that need to be planted, and I've had them in my kitchen for a week. Why aren't they in the ground yet? Because I have a bad case of the I don't want us. um, and then I looked at Jess and I looked at me, and then we looked at our kids, and we realized that like our entire family is just getting into a funk, and we've got it a lot better than a lot of people out there do. I mean, we've always been preppers to some extent, so it's like we've got food and we'll be okay. We have off-farm income jobs that do allow us to work from home, so we're not losing out on an income right now. Obviously, if the economy tanks too much worse and this goes on too much longer, that could change us too. But as of right now, we both have jobs. So we definitely don't have it as bad as a lot of people do. At the same time, my wife and I have always been very compassionate people. So our hearts are really breaking for a lot of the people that are struggling and suffering. And it's kind of hard not to feel their pain. So, yeah, we've got a bad case of the corona funk in this house. We're just kind of not feeling it, and we're trying to get ourselves remotivated. And I'm trying to tell myself things like just get your butt outside and spend 1 hour a day filming and post one video a week, and that's better than nothing. But even that, I look at it and I just say, I don't want to. Hey, glad you got to stop by for a second. Get yourself to bed. So I guess it's pretty much just us, Jan. See, and that's the funny part, Jan, is that in all honesty, like I've been burnt out before. I've burned the candle at both ends with a flame touching in the middle too. And, I mean, I know what burnout feels like. And like, I'm not burned out right now. I just don't want to. I'm not necessarily tired. I just don't want to. Hi, Sonny's Place. How are you? Hey, buddy, I'm on the computer right now. You want to say hi real quick? Something's on the TV. Oh, there's a bug on the TV. Okay, well, don't touch it, and I'll have your brother see what it is in a second. Sorry, y'all. So, hey, Mike, how's it going? Oh, you're not the only one? Yeah, that's just it, Mike. And so, I mean, it's like, I know we're not alone in it. No motivation to get stuff done. That's just it. Like, I've got stuff to do. And the thing is, now I've got the time to do it. Okay, bud, thanks. Okay. Yeah, not only do I have the projects to do and I have the time to do them, but I have no motivation to do them whatsoever. And that's kind of almost where I'm at with YouTube as well. I just do not have the motivation to get out there. Number one, I don't have the motivation to go out and do the project. But then, as I was starting to tell people earlier, when you're doing when you're doing YouTube, every single project takes twice as long to get it done because you're filming it. And then you still have to go in and edit it. So I don't have the motivation to go out and do the project. And so I definitely don't have the motivation to go out and film it. Tony, how about you? I know you're just getting on here, but do you have a case of the corona funk at all too? Just kind of hard to get anything done right now? Yeah, I mean, we all go through periods of burnout, and I know that. Hey, Tony. We all go through periods of burnout, but like I said, I'm not burnout. I'm not tired. I'm getting plenty of sleep, getting plenty of rest. I just zero motivation to do anything. Yeah, it'll definitely happen at some point. I kind of already went through that though. My big thing right now, as I was starting to tell people earlier, is that I'm not seeing the payout with the YouTube, and that makes it even harder to get motivated. You know, um, when you spend as much time as we've been spending, I mean, literally between marketing on social media, marketing your channel on social media, shooting the videos, editing the videos, posting the videos. YouTube is literally about, well, it was when I was actually putting out three videos a week. It was about a 30 to 35 hour a week job. I love you guys too. Those are my friends in Cali. It was a 30 to 35 hour a week job. My off farm income job was, you include like the drive to work and the drive from work and then the mandatory lunchtime and all that stuff, 55 hours there. And then the 35 hours, that doesn't even really truly include I mean, it includes the filming, but it doesn't necessarily include the project work. Cause like I said, the project takes twice as long when you're filming. So then I was still getting projects done on the farm as well. So, I mean, I was putting in 80 hour weeks and I was tired, but I still wasn't burnt out. Now I have all the time in the world and I don't want to. I just, I'm just not in the mood. If I go out to do something on the farm, it's because it has to get done, and I get it done, but I have no desire to take my camera out there with me. I'm just kind of burnt out on the kind of burn out on putting that much time into something that isn't having a whole lot of payback as of right now. And like I said, I know my channel's small. I honestly expected to have more growth by now. I've been at it for a full year, um, and I think we're at about 320 or so subscribers. Um, you know, and then part of it too is like I said, I'm one of those people. I like to feel needed, and when I look back, I read back through the comments on my videos. I'm not reading a whole lot of comments that really feel or make it look like I'm adding value to people's farms, homesteads, lives, etc. Let me catch up on the reading here a little bit. If we were any better, we would be twins. Let me see. You have the kids all day every summer. It's an adjustment. Grumpier. Yeah, I've been more of a jerk lately too. And Tony, you get the payback thing. What's that? Yeah, part of it too. Jess has a job that still requires that she leave the farm and go perform her work duties. And anytime that she has to go, the anxiety level in this house, good Lord, people, I can't even begin to tell you. You know, and we can't have family over because Jessica has an exposure risk. So therefore, we can't, like, even if we have family that has been quarantined in place, therefore we know they're safe, we haven't been quarantined in place. We can't guarantee that our family would be safe if they came over to visit us. So the anxiety level every time Jess has to leave, her anxiety goes through the roof, and so does mine because I don't want her to go. But you know, we need the paycheck, so she has to go perform her essential function of her job. You've been working on limiting filming and editing 1 or 2 hours per video. The exception is projects or builds. Yeah, and I think I might need to do something like that as well. Like I said, I think I just need to get out there and just film and not even worry about a video right now. Maybe just get out there and get back in the habit of filming and post a video when I get around to it. Welcome to Chicklandia. It's nice for you to stop by. Thanks. Got good peeps on here. like I said, there's a part of me too that I also feel like I'm kind of letting down the community, because one of the things I've always been really focused on is helping others build their channels. So I know people really appreciate the Monday shout out videos, and I've gotten some comments that that their channels have done better because I've shouted them out. Um, but then there's always that little part of us, because I hate to break this to you people, I'm human. So there's times that I sit there and go like, well, that's great that my video did so good for his or her channel. It didn't do nothing for me, dang it. I'm sorry, I'm human. And sometimes I get a little bit jealous. Or when I see another channel that puts out basically the same type of video that I do, but their channel is like skyrocketing and growing way faster than mine is. And it's like a pretty much the guy who films, and he's got a beard just like mine, and we sound a lot alike, and and it's like, okay, your channel's identical to mine. Why is it growing twice as fast? But you can't guess. My friend Aaron over at 4Kids in the Farm the other day said, if I figure out the magical potion to YouTube, I'll be sure to let you know. You know what, and that's the thing too, Mike. When I first started this, I said that one of the reasons that I did this is because I wanted to share my farm with the world, but I also wanted to share my farm with my family. And it is still doing that. Maybe I'm just getting too wrapped up in what I want this channel to be, and I'm losing focus on what it was originally designed to be. And I'm getting a lot of comments that are just like I knew it was. I'm reading down through the comments as we're talking here, and you know what, y'all? To be honest with you, I expected these comments. I expected everybody to say, "Yeah, me too." Oh, no doubt. Oh, heck yeah, been there, done that. Because I know I'm not going through anything unique. I know this is just the way YouTube is, especially for you small channels. But like I said, I'm not even burnt out right now. See, that's what I'm talking about, backyard bees. Man, we can get you 18 in 2 days. I'm at like 320. And honestly, ever since this coronavirus stuff started, I started watching. I was at 324 at one point, and I was like, yeah, it's only one visitor or one subscriber away from 325. And then I would watch it, went 323, 322, 319, 317, then 318, then 316, 315, 314. In the last couple of days, I've gotten a few new subscribers, and I'm back up to 321, but I'm losing way more people than I'm gaining. My watch time is way down. Nobody buys my merch. Nobody shoots me emails except for Tony and Jan. And I don't know. I'm just in a little bit of a why am I even still doing this thing? Because when I'm sitting where I'm sitting and my wife is 15 feet away from me, and I'm up editing video until 1 o'clock in the morning when I have to be up at 5 to go to my job, there's got to be some reward. If there's no reward, then why am I doing it? I can't do it just to share my farm with my family and my friends. Fast growth is sometimes not sustainable. I smell what you're cooking there, Miss Welcome to Chicklandia. I smell what you're cooking. Especially because one of the regular things that I tell my kids is that nothing worth having is easy. And so, yeah, this is definitely not easy, and it's extremely slow going. And it doesn't do any good to have tons of subs and low views. It also doesn't do a whole lot of good to have a lower number of subs and still have low views. And that's where I've been at for quite some time. And I think it's because I've been slowly, we'll use the word burning out. I think I've been slowly burning out, and the quality of my video has been suffering. And I think people notice that, and people aren't really interested, and people aren't really watching. And that's kind of where I'm at as far as, so one of to be honest with you, and I've said this a few times, but I have to go back and repeat this for the people that are just getting on. My original, when I scheduled this 2 nights ago, I was going to get on tonight and I was going to basically announce that I was shutting down the YouTube shop. It just wasn't working out and I wasn't going to do this anymore. But then one of my friends said something, hey, if sharing your farm with the world isn't what you love anymore, then find something you do love. But sharing my farm with the world is still something I love. It's YouTube that I'm frustrated with. It's having to do the Facebook and the Instagram and the Twitter, and that's what I'm frustrated with. That's what I don't want to do anymore. I still want to share my farm with the world, but I don't know of another platform to do that with. So YouTube is kind of where it's at. Anybody have any thoughts on that? Let's see. I think I saw Backyard Bees. Burn Reddit up. Get that you've been there. And let me get caught up. Sorry, y'all. It's tough to anybody who's done a live knows that it's tough to keep up with the comments. Let me see here. Place your channel good. Keep going. Trust me. Thank you. I appreciate that because your channel's awesome. Like, your channel is super duper awesome, and I've never heard anybody say anything negative about your channel at all. So when you say my channel is good, that makes me feel good. Can't shut it down, man. I just started following you and watching. So listen, y'all, I think where I'm at right now is I'm not going to shut it down, but I believe I probably am going to take a bit of a break and try to get myself back in the habit of taking the camera outside with me and get back in the habit of filming projects. And to be honest with you, get my butt back outside doing projects. Mike was saying earlier, and he said he agreed with me because of what's, it's just motivation, man. I have all the time in the world to do projects right now. I'm working from home, so I can get my job done, in a reasonable amount of time, especially since I don't have the hour and a half of drive time to and from work, and I don't have the mandatory lunch time, et cetera, et cetera. So I can get my job done in a reasonable amount of time, which means so I have all the time in the world to work on projects, and I am only working on basically all I'm doing on my farm right now is putting out fires. I'm just putting out fires on the farm right now. Oh, that irrigation hose broke. Okay, I'll go fix it because I have to. But it's like I need to run the irrigation over here so I can plant the flowers. Well, we didn't pay that much for those flowers, so if I don't plant them, it's not the end of the world. All right, bye. It was nice to see you. Thank you for the encouraging words. I appreciate you. Let me see. It's not easy for sure. I'm just taking in the journey, enjoying the process. But you know what I love most? Meeting so many amazing creators. So part of my frustration too, and you know what, guys? Again, a lot of you are probably in the same boat. So I have roughly 320 subscribers. I would bet you that 25 of them are close family and friends, people that I guess they don't have to subscribe me, but they actually know me, they actually like me, and therefore they subscribe to my channel. Or people like Mike, that Mike and I were friends for a couple of decades before we moved 1,000 miles away from where he lives. So this is how he keeps up with us. So if you take away those 25 subscribers, that leaves 295. Out of the 295 subscribers, I'll bet you a solid 250 of them are channels that I subscribe to, and then they therefore subscribed back to me. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're watching my channel. So that gets really frustrating too. Like, I want subs because they love my content, and they, I love the very, very rare occasion where I get that comment that says, heard about you from XYZ. I love your stuff. I'm a huge fan. And then I see that they comment every single week like they actually are watching my stuff because they do find some sort of value in it. It's just that has become very rare. It's like Welcome to China was saying, as far as it doesn't do it, you can have 5,000 subs and still only have 45 views a week on your videos because they all sub you just because you sub to them. I'll put you on my next features. I appreciate that, Backyard Bees. I really do. And you know what? I've got several channels that have given me shout outs, and I'll get some decent jumps, 15 to 20 subscriber jumps when people you'll send me another email, Tony. When people feature me on their channels, and I hope that when I feature people on my channels, the same happens for them, that they get 15 or 25 subscriber jumps. But when I go in and I look at a lot of our channels, like if I go into, you Backyard Bees, North Carolina, if I go into your subscribe list and I look at who you subscribe to, I subscribe to the same people. And then I look at the people that make comments on your videos, and those are the same people that make comments on my videos. Yeah, I feel like our community has gotten a little encapsulated. And, especially with everything that's going on, those of us, hey, Amy, cheers. Those of us that are homesteaders, preppers, grow our own food, raise our own animals, stuff like that. I feel like we all have a lot to offer people. And there's some channels that are doing a really good job of getting information out there. And then there's other channels that are smaller like us that the views are just going down and you're losing subscribers like mad. So it is just a tough time to be a content creator. Everybody say hi to Amy collectively. Everybody right now type in, hey, Amy. Amy, Jess and I have gotten to a place, like I'll have my, it's like I've got my friends, and then I've got my work friends from my job, and then I'll say I'll have my YouTube friends, which are, other content creators that we get along well with. But Jess and I always joke about, like, with Amy and her husband, we're like, oh, they're not just YouTube friends, they're like friends. Oh, let me see. Not cold and sitting at PCs all day anymore. Yeah. I hear you, Tony. I hear you. I've just been pushing through for 6 months. I would say about 6 months ago, I started questioning whether or not this was worth it. And now it just seems like it's even less worth it than it did 6 months ago. So I don't know how much longer I want to push through. It's like we were talking about earlier, Tony. You want to see that payout. You want to see that comment on your video that is just like, oh my gosh, this is genius. Look, I built one too. How did you break the track? Never mind, Amy. You don't need to explain how you broke the tractor. I can picture it. For some reason, I see an implement that was in grass that got ran over and or a ditch. You know what? Backyard Bees, answer Sunny's question. How does she talk her hubby and kids? Well, to me, the answer is honey. Everybody loves honey. And that is also an excellent, yes. Show them Backyard Bees North Carolina's channel. Good channel, tons of information. Believe it or not, Backyard Bees actually talked me out of getting bees. And I know that sounds funny, but it's because I thought I had a pretty good grasp on what all was involved in getting started. And then I decided that now it just wasn't financially feasible. So we're still going to get bees someday. Right now just wasn't the time. And I might have jumped into them if I hadn't looked at how expensive beekeeping can be through Backyard Bees channel. And they don't like honey. Well, do they like everything else in the garden? Because to be honest with you, the main reason I want bees is because I'm planning on planting 500 fruit trees out on this 2.5 acres of my property. So I want pollinators. But my wife wants honey. But my wife is allergic to bees, so she can't help me with anything that has to do with anything that has or with the bees at all. Your wife said hell no on bees. Well, Tony, I'm not sure what to tell you, man, because we all know happy wife, happy life. That's what you got him for your garden. So yeah, that's my main thing. See, but then I've also got this aspect of it because someday we want this to be a you pick fruit operation. So I I'm a little nervous about having beehives on the property when you have people coming on your property, but I don't know. We'll cross that road when we get there. That's a long ways out. So I'm not sure where to go because I've had a lot of people jump on here just recently. I was originally thinking that I was going to talk for 35 minutes. When I originally started this, and those of you that have been on here since the beginning, this is like the fourth time you've heard this, but when I posted this like 3 days ago saying that I was going to do a live, my intention for the live was to come on and announce that I'd be shutting down the YouTube channel indefinitely. And between my wife and I having a conversation and coming to a realization that the funk we're in is a lot deeper than just YouTube. It's a household-wide funk that is affecting all of our children, and even the animals are cranky. So, we've got this household-wide corona funk that we're all in. It's not quite a depression yet. We're trying to jump on it before it becomes one. But that obviously can be affecting my attitude towards YouTube. And then besides the corona funk, I lost my train of thought. See, I'm old. I'm old and I'm tired. But yeah, I originally decided to, the other thing was Amy, and I kept telling you guys, my friend said, it was Amy. It was Amy that said, if you don't love doing it anymore, then find something you love doing. And the thing is, it's not necessarily that I love doing YouTube. I love sharing my farm with my friends and my family and the world, really. I mean, if anybody goes back and watches the introduction video to my channel, that was my whole thing. Why YouTube? So that the mother-in-law and father-in-law and sister-in-law and Mike, my friend in the Phoenix or the central Arizona area, they can see what we're up to, and my daughter that's stationed in Korea can keep up with what's going on the farm and see that look at spring and look how pretty it is. So it was so that people we loved could keep up with our family, and so that we could share our passions for gardening and growing your own food, etc., with the world. And I do still love doing that, and I don't know how to do it outside of YouTube, so I kind of get myself into a suck it up buttercup moment where YouTube is just something I'm going to have to push with. Does anyone actually know of anyone who caught the virus? That is a good question. I think most of what we know is third-hand accounts. We know some nurses. So we know some nurses that have treated people who were positive with the virus. And some of them have passed away while our nurse friends were working on them. So, but yeah, that's personally, no, I don't. My family is all being very safe. I haven't, guys. Here's another thing. We talk about Corona Funk. I have not seen my mama in 6 weeks. I don't know that we ever go much longer than, what would you say, just 3 weeks? About 3 weeks without seeing my mom? Your earphone's in and isn't listening to me. She can't hear me at all, y'all. Not until her live stream catches up, and then she'll look over here and start laughing at me. So yeah, I'm going to go 3 weeks. We've never really gone longer than about 3 weeks, and I have not seen my mother in 6 weeks. And that kills me. It breaks my heart. Hi. Oh, hi. Hi. You're there. Would you say about every 3 weeks we see my mom? Yeah, about every 3 weeks. How funny is that? She just looked up and looked over here and went, yeah. So apparently she's you're what? Yeah, you're lagging quite a bit. Let me catch up on a few comments here. Cooper Family Homestead, are you laughing at me yelling at my wife? You're not the only crazy guy that swears you had it back in January. I know of several people. One of my daughters thinks there's a possibility that she may have had it because she had, it's basically, yeah, she had fever, she had a cough, she had that kind of stuff. But, she's a young college kid. It would just kind of present, she was sick like when you get sick with the flu and then it went away. I don't know. I know a few people that think that there's a good possibility that it's already run through them. But they were strong from a respiratory standpoint. You know, they weren't smokers, etc. So I don't know. Little lag time. Let me see. Who somebody gets to see their mom. Where was it? And I see something about a pastor too. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I got to back up in the comments here a little bit because some things caught my eye that I really wanted to see. You know, saying family can see it, grandkids watch it also. The man is a pastor, so I watch videos he shared on Facebook that my friend shared. Sonny's place. What was that comment? The pastor thing. Oh, okay. I don't get sick, and it put me down hard every 5 years here in the medical field, and we all feel we had it in January. Okay, that's one of my nurse friends, which actually I haven't talked to Aaron a whole lot about what's been. You know, I check on him. How are you doing? How's the wife? How's the kids? I don't really ask him about his job too much because it's kind of probably a tough time to be in his line of work. Crazy funk back in January. See, I haven't had anything for quite some time. Knock on some wood here. So if it has gone around, I don't think it's gone through me yet. So this is good, guys. I think this is good for us to talk about this kind of stuff too. Because you know what? It's like I've been so like anti-news. I don't want to watch any news about it. I don't want to talk about it. Ignore it. I'm going to sit here in my quarantined house and it'll just go away. Bye. And I think maybe not talking about it is almost worse sometimes. But I guess if I am going to find the encouragement to keep going with this whole YouTube thing, I'm probably going to need y'all's help because, you know, the 9 to 14 or 15 ish people that showed up for my live tonight, y'all comment on my videos all the time. But if I can't get some growth, if I can't get that feeling like maybe I'm actually making a difference on people's homesteads, then I may lose interest in this pretty quick. So I guess I need y'all's help to kind of help me spread the word a little bit about my channel, which also means that I need to get my butt back to work. It means I need to get out of bed before 9 a.m. I need to eat breakfast before 10:30, and I need to get my butt outside before it's 95 degrees. And Jess says the same thing. She's got to get motivated to get things done as well. Cooper Family Home says Sunday Night Live. I will put it on my schedule. And, you know, I mean, it's like I got the tripod. I've got the external mic. I invested some money in my equipment because I don't have a lot of, like, y'all, I shoot on an iPhone, and that's the way it's going to be for the foreseeable future. I edit on $10 editing software that's available through Microsoft because that's what I can, you know, I've got 4 mouths to feed. I've got a college kid. I've got a wedding coming up. You know, I mean, like, you know, not to act like I'm impoverished in some way, shape, or form, but you know, upgrading my editing software to make my life easier isn't really an option right now. Upgrading my filming equipment to make my life easier isn't really an option right now. So you use the free iMovie. Yeah, you know what? And I wish I still had my Apple because I actually thought iMovie was pretty awesome. I loved the features of iMovie, and I actually got really good at using it, but I can't afford to pay for it for the PC, and I don't have an Apple anymore. So the easiest videos that I put up are the ones that I can edit right on my phone and post right from my phone. And that's just getting harder and harder to do when you're trying to add in music and cut screens and stuff like that. So I don't know. And especially when you look at the fact that my most viewed video The absolute most views I have on any video is like 196, which kind of stinks. But that 196 views was on a video that was 1 minute and 15 seconds long, and it was me letting my chickens out of the chicken coop. I didn't really say anything. I let the chickens out of the chicken coop. They all ran for the feed. It was really funny and cute. And that's the most views that I have, which basically means that people love my chickens way more than they love me.
They love the guineas.
Oh, yeah, everybody adores the guineas. And my dog that, photo bombs every video. I get lots of comments on them. iMovie is super easy, yes. I loved it back when I used to use it several years ago, which was before I even knew what YouTube was. And I've looked into Filmora, I believe somebody said. I've looked into that. It's affordable. It's just more than I have to spend on editing software right now. I actually really like the $80 package, and $80 really isn't that much money, but $80 is also, a whole bunch of 2x4s to build more raised beds. So it's just tough to spend the money on the editing software and stuff. Chris, did you ever see Cog Hill Farm video on the birds? I've seen a lot of his videos. I couldn't specifically tell you if I saw the birds. You film on an iPhone as well? They're nice to film on. And, I do have the iPhone 11 Pro because I'm fancy. But it's just, I don't know. I know I'm not the only person in the United States of America right now that is lacking motivation. But it's like I said, it's that I wanted to be in this for the long haul. It's just been a really, really, really long haul. And I know there's people that have been at it longer than I have and have even fewer viewers than I do. So I almost feel bad complaining about it. But the most views we had were on a video where our antique stove tried to kill me. People are freaks. Maybe I need to get run over by a tractor or something. Is that okay, babe? She's not answering again because she's lagging.
What?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You'll hear it in a second.
It's hard. Two people. One ear on one end and the other.
But they're both me. You're listening to two people, but they're both me. Mike Berry had 150 subs. Then a video got picked or got 25,000 views and 1,000 subs. Yeah. Yep. I have known that for a long time. It's all about that one viral video. So, what do you have to do to get that one viral video? There's this kid that makes me laugh. His name is Brandon Ferris. Sometimes if I just need a giggle, I watch him. And hi, how are you? Am I talking to goodness. I'm drawing blanks on my friends, honey. That's how bad this has gotten.
You know horrible names.
I know you are horrible names. You're very horrible with names. So what was I saying? Yeah. Let me see. I lost my train of thought because I got all wrapped up in whether it was Jeremy or Angela that was. Thank you, son. I have no idea what this is from. Is that the only mail there was?
Yeah.
Thank you. Who Disney flew? It's Jeremy. Okay, so now no need to announce who it is. We know it's Jeremy. So anyhow, Jeremy, we've been talking. You just chimed in. Have you been in a little bit of a funk lately too? Like it's kind of hard to get motivated to get out there and get filming. I don't know if motivation is a factor for Aaron and Rachel over 4 Kids in a Farm, then I would hate to see if they weren't motivated right now because they are cranking out the videos. It's ridiculous. Like they're
so pretty.
It helps that they're so pretty, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're the 4 Kids in a Farm are cranking out videos lately. It seems like I'm seeing one every other day and sometimes several days in a row. But yeah, just lack of motivation. The channel's not growing real quick. Not that I want it to grow super fast, but it's honestly just not growing at all. And I know that the reason it's not growing the last month or so is because, see that, Backyard Bees? Now you're only 15 away from 1,000 subs. If we stay on here long enough, well, maybe no. If you stay on with me long enough, you might start losing subs again. Aaron, you need to quit, dude, because you are one handsome dude. Can I get an amen for everybody that thinks that Aaron is one handsome dude? Every time I say that they are an absolutely gorgeous couple, he says, "Well, it's Rachel, it's not me." Dude, you're a handsome dude, and you guys are a gorgeous couple together, and you made very pretty babies as well. So you're just a beautiful family. Thank you, Jeremy. But why are we talking about this on a live? We could call each other. You lost 20 subs in the last two videos. That's yeah, it's ridiculous right now. It is a tough time to be a content creator. And like I said, I know I'm not alone in it. I know I'm not the only one that's suffering through it, but whew, y'all, on Sunday night, that's funny. Are you laughing at Jeremy and Aaron over here? Yes. I'm in my room, Jeremy. Dang it. Um, but it's a super tough time to be a content creator. I'm lacking all kinds of motivation to do anything on the farm. And if you're not doing anything, there's nothing to film. And if I am doing something, I don't want to film it. So when I set up this live on Sunday night, it was my full intention to announce that I wasn't going to be doing YouTube at all anymore. I decided probably last night that we're just probably going to take a little bit of a break. And I might try to put together a couple of very quality videos and then kind of relaunch when I've got some content that I think is actually worth viewing, and then we'll see what happens with the channel at that point. But I'm glad everybody came on tonight. And like I said, I originally just intended on doing kind of a quick half-hour live, and now we've been talking for 52 minutes or so. So I will hang in there. Everybody else needs to hang in there too. Hey, go finish up your evening chores. I hear you. I got to go put chickens to bed soon, and my knee is still killing me from whatever I did to it a couple of days ago. So go get your chores done. And let me see. We are coming up on 8 o'clock East Coast, 7 o'clock here, 5 o'clock, which is dinner time back in Cali. I hear you about not making it a job, Jeremy. And that's part of my original decision to get into YouTube is because I wanted to share my farm with the world. And I still want to share my farm with the world. It's just that YouTube is a job. It's a job. It's the best way to share my farm with the world, and it's a pain in the rear. Go get dinner going. Love you too, Aaron and Rachel. So, y'all, I think this is probably just a good place for us to cut off. Like I said, it's getting late for people on the East Coast. It's chore time for those of us here in the central United States, and it's dinner time over on the Pacific Coast. So, I think it's probably time to start wrapping this thing up. But I hear you about not having a schedule. It just always seemed like the channels that were fairly regular or had a fairly set schedule, even if it was only one video a week, but that video always came out on Tuesday, then those were channels that really got a lot of views. So I was really trying to keep that consistency. But I think what I may do is I still believe in growing the homesteading community. I think I might still do a shout out video, and that will also be my just opportunity to I don't know, share my viewpoint on things. And then maybe once a week I'll do a video that's just whatever, a project I've been working on, or a garden update, or a farm tour, or something like that. So I think I may go back to 2 videos a week when I decide to get back into this. But for right now, I think we're going to take a little time off. And I hope y'all understand, and I hope y'all are still here when we come back. And I think that's it, y'all. I don't really have a whole lot else to say. So I want y'all to stay strong. I want you all to be smart and make good choices. And I guess my tagline that has been part of my channel ever since the very beginning kind of applies now more than it ever did. I want y'all to be happy and live healthy. So, good night, everybody. We'll see you before too long, I'm sure.